students, and welcome to another institutional spotlight in the series that Careers History does. Today we have with us Ms. Nandita Abraham, who is the Dean of BITS Design School. She brings in vast experiences from the creative industries and academia to the BITS Design School. And with global experience in the US, Hong Kong, and India, she manages strategic priorities with an innovative execution-oriented positive attitude. She is on the FICCI National Higher Education Committee and has previously been associated with the International Foundation of Fashion Technology Institute and the CII National Design Committee. She has lectured at the Northumbria University, University of Delaware, and London College of Fashion, and has presented papers in Seoul, Taiwan, Australia, India, Europe, and the UK. Apart from education, Nandita has a deep interest in the empowerment of people through self-confidence and employability. Among some of the initiatives she has spearheaded are the Tihar Jehel Fashion Project, the Dastkar Ranthambore Project, and the Seva Learning Centers. She's a mentor for various organizations working with young people and has been a champion of people development in her previous role. Welcome on board. It's an honor to have you. My first question would be, BITS Design School was set up in 2024. So how was this conceived and what was the rationale? Could you just give insights on how this came about?
BITS Pilani is 60 years old now, and it's primarily a technology university covering all areas like deep technology, health sciences, agriculture technology, and everything. And I think after getting an IOE status, one of the dreams of our chancellor was that how do you bring technology to the front? Like what else is required to optimize this? What else does India require? And so he's first started in the Mumbai campus, the BITS School of Management, then the BITS School of Law, and really to bring everything together is why we were conceived, the BITS School of Design. And that combination and that integration is really something that's very special. And when we had to launch a design school, there was a lot of discussion about what kind of a design school should we have, because there are already so many good design schools in India. So what is it that's required? What is it that maybe is missing a little? We had a lot of conversations with our advisors, with our advisory board, with the industry. And here's what we came about. One is that there are many design schools in India, and most of them help you focus on a particular specialization. So you enter and you become either fashion design, graphic design, interior design, product design, and 4 years you do that and become super with the skills and go and join the industry. But really, as the world is changing and as the concept of design is changing, we wanted, or there is a need to create designers who can work with engineers, who can work with doctors, who can work with infrastructure, and who can really collaborate across different fields and bring out the purpose of design or the impact of design in various industries. So that's the kind of design school that we are working on creating.
Glad to know that. The BITS Design School applications to that would be ending on 31st of January.
That's right.
What do you look for in applicants, and how does the selection and admission process go about? How do you align it to fulfill that?
Thank you. That's a very important question. So 31st of January is the last date for applications. Then students will be asked to upload exam marks. We take 3 exams, either the NID prelim exam, the UCEED exam, or we have an exam called the BitsDat. So students then upload that marks, and the first cutoff is based on the written exam mark. Last year, we selected 852 students to get into the next phase. So those who are selected to come into the next phase will be invited to upload a portfolio. All portfolios will be evaluated, and they will all be invited for an interview. So at the end of that process, you would have an exam mark, which is 30%. You have a portfolio mark, which is 30%, and you have an interview mark, which is 40% of the criteria. The intention really is to select an all-rounded person who's not just creative, like you may have in the portfolio, but who's somebody who can think, who can communicate. It can be in any language. But who understands what he wants to do, who is curious, who is intentional about having a career in design. And we're really happy with the students that we got last year. So we decided this year to do the same process. So apply, then you're invited to upload your marks. There's a cutoff, portfolio evaluation, and interview for the students.
Wonderful. I'll slightly modify the question that I had asked earlier. Design is not really a conventional career choice. What I would like you to answer is, how do you think BITS Design School and future, with the kind of students that are coming, do you think that stereotype would be broken down? And do you see that happening? Because design is really everywhere, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of students should come in if they have the skills for it.
Well, yes, design is everywhere. And possibly a lot of people have that curiosity or that urge to make a difference, to express themselves. And sometimes maybe, though that's changed a lot, Prabha, but maybe parents are still worried. But today, in all companies that you go to, whether it is Uber or SAP or in Accenture, or Tatas. I mean, every company has designers because designers work with healthcare, work with infrastructure, work with technology, and work at actually thinking and solving problems along with management, along with engineers. So when engineers create something, they look at efficiency, at material, at how fast, how many, how cost. But the designer looks at who's using it, who's the person, who's the community. And I think that, and everybody is seeing today that that's really important. Whether you're creating roads, whether you're creating education, whether you're creating products, what's important is really who are you creating it, not necessarily for, but can you create it with the people who require it? And that's the role of a designer, really.
Actually, brilliantly put. And I think parents should understand that design comes in every place. Anything, starting from your household items to products
Absolutely.
that you use. Yes.
Yeah.
So, my next question would be, what do you think are the unique features that this design school has that the others don't?
So, first, I want to say that all design schools have unique features, and there's a right place for every student. So, when you're going to study, I mean, when you want to join a design college, understand what it is and choose the place which matches your inspiration or matches your aspiration, because every place will bring out different students. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, I think the most differentiating factor for us is we look at design in a transdisciplinary manner, which means when we design understanding the technology of it, how the value that it's going to bring maybe to the company in terms of business, the brand that it's going to bring in, the society, the impact that it has on society, supply chain, economics, etc. And so that kind of the designer that comes out of the BITS Design School will be able to work across disciplines. Okay. He may not have the greatest skill in, say, drawing a game character. That's up to the student. That's not what we're teaching them. But, and he may not make the most beautiful car. Again, if he wants to, it's up to him. But he will be able to look at large car manufacturers like Volvo, etc., and say, what is going to happen to transportation in the future? What's the future of mobility? What kind of transportation systems do we need in crowded cities, in different environments? How can transportation solve a lot of the mobility problems that there are? What kind of systems can there be? So transdisciplinary way of education is something that I think is the one differentiating factor. And all our students know that, and they're here because of that, because they want to be able to work across disciplines in this world where there is so much of opportunity. The second thing that I'd like to say is that we are intensely student centric, which means that there's no walled approach. If a student wants to go further in one particular area, and like, BITS is like that overall, then opportunities are immense. So there's no that, oh, you have to only reach up to there. So opportunities, whether it's in terms of incubation, in terms of international exposure, in terms of mentors, in terms of anything. So to allow every student to reach where they want to reach. And the curriculum is worked out like that. The third thing, and that I guess is being a part of BITS, is that we're digital first and technology. We inherit that. There's so much of access. I'm going to the Hyderabad campus next week to look at what we can do in terms of joint projects, immersions for students, our students to go to Pilani students to come here. All that has started. The incubation center from Pilani has sent somebody. So we've already got an incubation center that's being set up over here, etc. So technology, digital, maybe bits first. And the fourth point I wanted to say was about being international or global, because especially design and maybe many other industries also, we don't want our students to be the best in Mumbai or Maharashtra or even India, but they need to be equal to and also be able to work with designers or organizations from around the world. So as much international exposure as possible is required. We have had, since college opened in July, more than 32 different international guests come to campus, talk to students. The exposure has been immense. This is not because we want them to be West-facing designers. No. There's a lot of interest in India, in Indian design, Indian culture. There's a lot of opportunity in India. But we need to know what are the best practices that there are in the world and how can we bring that and contextualize that.
You offer non-traditional design specializations, as I may put it in layman terms. So you have product design, visual design, and you have design research initiatives. So how does a student choose this? How does the system go so that they know which is best for them?
Okay. Super. So one is, Prabhat, these are maybe non-traditional, but these are what we have researched is the need for tomorrow. Okay. And also these are pathways, not specialization. So the students get a Bachelor of Design honors, not in digital product design or design research, because while 60% of the course takes them deep into the pathway, 40% of it continues to make them transdisciplinary so that they can continue to work with each other irrespective of which discipline that they are in, and also to work with engineers, management, etc. In the first 3 semesters, the students take the same courses. There are some electives, but they're just experimenting with what it is that they'd like to do. The third semester actually helps them to explore a little bit more, because there are introductory courses to all the 5 pathways: physical product design, digital product design, design research, experience design, and visual design. So a student can take 2 or 3 of those introductory courses to see that, which is the one that they would like to adopt fully. And then we have a mentoring system. So a student can select whichever pathway they want. So there's no cap on that, but they will be mentored and guided by the faculty member to ensure that the skills that they have match what is required in that pathway. So it's a careful, gradual process, and we hope that by the end of the 3rd semester, students will make a choice It's also possible that we will give them some more time in case they feel they made a wrong choice. They could switch in the fourth semester also.
Brilliant, because students do need that leverage, that freedom,
Absolutely. In fact, many students have come to us thinking they're going to do a particular thing because that's all the exposure they had. But in the first 2 semesters, they're seeing and doing so many different things that they say, oh, maybe I can try this, maybe. And students have come and said that, do we have to choose a pathway? Can't we do everything?
So my next question is that design, more so than other domains or other streams, requires a more practical, hands-on and practical training. So how do you ensure this at?
Prabha, all design colleges are set up to have the use of hands, so most colleges, foundation is about drawing, so straight lines, curved lines, horizontal, vertical, and working with material. For us, hands on is a little more than that. We're saying that think while using your hands. So you're using your drawing as a means to think and communicate, using your making as a means to think and communicate. And even in the first semester, students have gone out to place-based situations close by, like the railway station, um, unorganized eateries, auto rickshaw stands, waste collection centers, unorganized markets, and studied places, researched the people in those places, and along with the people in those places, they have created, they have made products which will help the people in. But it's not that the way that we look at it, you don't we're not saviors. We don't design for someone. You design with the person who has that need. So they've worked with these places. So hands-on doesn't just mean drawing and working with ceramics or clay or metal or wood. Hands-on means actually being there with and designing with the people.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Right. My last question. What is your vision for this BITS Design School?
My vision is to create a place where people from all around the world will gather to discuss, to develop, to create, to innovate, to argue, to ideate, and make the world a better place. It's not just for designers. We need to have people from all walks of life so that design can be further incorporated with them. In September, we had a conference called Care Value Place, where we had 70 people from around the world, all doing transformational work, but could be in agriculture, in water, in medicine, in sustainability, and designers working together to look at what design can do. When you have a conglomeration of minds like that, automatically magic happens and the students benefit. So everybody who comes for an event like this or discussion like this also meets students, and students get to buddy them, sit in classes, do workshops, do podcasts, and students just learn by being in the environment. So I think our role is to create that environment um, where everybody comes, because there is that space and freedom to think, talk, and create. So that's really, and I feel that we've got off to a good start, but there's a lot more to do. Our Kamba campus, we're right now in Mumbai and Powai, and we're moving to Mumbai or Kalyan. And that will be even more fabulous because there's a lot of space. We have a lot of housing for guests who come in to stay there. And then you don't need to have a conference which is of any particular hours. It's 24-hour learning experience. And yeah, that's what we want.
Thank you so much. Thank you.